All right, hey, welcome to Cruisin', and what do we got for you today? Well, we've got the Genesis. Now, you may not have heard about the Genesis because it's not been really well publicized. It is Hyundai's luxury edition. This is the G80 Prestige. A couple of different engines you can choose from. You can deal with a four-cylinder that kicks out about 300 horse thanks to a turbocharger, or you could bump for the 3.5 liter V6 turbo. That's 375 horse, backed by an 8-speed automatic. But really what makes this car stand out is the luxury aspect. Competition is Mercedes, Audi, BMW, and on a price point, you're not gonna beat it. I'm telling you, you can get this car under $50,000 with all the bells and whistles you could ever ask for. Everything from side markers to a panoramic sunroof, Napa leather interior. It has got it all. Some of the cool things about it, you know, this is not new, but you know, if it's cold, all you got to do is hit the button. It'll start up in cold weather, turns the seat heaters on, turns the heater on, or if it's hot, it'll put the cooled seats on and with whatever temperature you have it set at. And then when you get ready to come out of the house, all you do is just walk over to the driver door, and it automatically unlocks, and that way it unlocks. And then the way to drive it off, you do have to have the key fob, otherwise it won't unlock, and two, you can't drive off in it. Heated seats, like I mentioned, front, rear. That's right, front and rear, because it's almost a quasi limo, really, when you come right down to it. When you look inside the interior, it's done in a very nice quilted seating. Gives you a center console, gives you some controls that you can operate from there as well. It's not a huge trunk space, but it's adequate enough for folks that are, you know, gonna go on an overnighter, you're gonna go camping or go to the big box store. You've got a net that you can use to hold all your gear down so it doesn't go flying around in the back seat. The styling of the car is unbelievable. LED lighting, 360 camera. Not only when you're putting it in reverse, it's got an amazing backup camera. Then when you put it back into drive, you actually have a front camera, so you won't drive over anything, kids' bicycles, maybe watching out for a speed bump, you know. And again, everything is pretty much automatic on this particular car. You've got, what else have we got here? Wireless charger, which I absolutely enjoy. USB ports all over the place. It's got tons of safety. It's got an intelligent cruise control on this thing, which means we're getting closer and closer to autonomous driving. 14.5-inch center infotainment center, plus a really nice dash layout as well. Steering wheel is redundant to what's in the center console, so you don't really have to take your hands off the wheel. You've got good controls on the driver's doors for power windows, power door locks. Nice big brakes up front. They even put the Genesis name on the caliper so that you know what you're driving. Infrared cameras on this car, so they'll try to keep you from running into another vehicle out on the road. They thought of everything. And again, it is a Genesis, so you got your 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain, 560 on bumper to bumper. You got free maintenance. You've got roadside assistance that's free. So, I mean, Hyundai has totally stepped up. This rather aggressive grille on this particular car. This is a Adirondack blue, if you're interested in the color. But the key to this car is driving it. 23 city, 32 highway. I only got 24.6, which I was a little surprised because I'm pretty good at getting the hypermiler up here. You've also got window curtains on the doors for privacy. So if you have if it's hot out, you can pull them up. They're not automated. They're just a regular window shade type unit, and plus you have a big one in the back window which goes down when you put it in reverse. Styling, it's got that sports car feel or look to it, and it drives kind of like a sports car. I mean, it'll flat get up and it'll get going down the road, and it's just got a great look to it. And I can't overemphasize the J.D. Power's 3-year dependability study. And to me, you know, we can always talk about new vehicles, but how are they going to be in about 2 to 3 years? And I know a few car manufacturers that would never ever get close to that award, and they're high-end, you know, Europeans. All-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, your choice. This is, like I said, the 3.5 liter turbo. There's really not a whole else out to say about it unless you need to get in it and go take one for a test drive. But if you're in the market for a luxury car, something with some dependability and some fuel economy and some serious comforts, you know, you need to put the Genesis on your list, whether you go with the 4-cylinder or the V6. I don't think you'll be unhappy, and you can start out for less than $47,700. And the cars that it's in competition with are well over 100 grand. I guess some of the things that stand out to me is probably the drivability, the sound system, the comfort. You know, it's marked all the boxes. I mean, there's really not anything that I'm not 100% happy with. One thing it does do, and that's it'll do a self-park, which you don't have to be in the car. You can use your key fob and it'll put it into a tight parking space. I guess that's okay. I'm not a fan of it because I wouldn't want somebody to squeeze a car in between my car where somebody couldn't get in or out of it. But again, you know, on certain situations, that probably would be a plus. This one does have heads-up display, if I didn't mention it earlier, which is good. It's adjustable. You do have to dive into the dash a little bit to get to it, but once you do, it's not bad at all. You know, mainly for height. All right, there is your 3.5 liter turbo V6. It's got its own different type of a strut bar here to give it some rigidity while you're decide if you're going to go up in the mountains and maybe do a little twisties with it, which this car is more than capable of doing. Pretty simplified, everything color coordinated for oil, water, and windshield washer. A lot of plastic covering, hood sound deadening, so to keep it nice and quiet. Because that is one of the drawbacks of your smaller engines. You do get a little bit more engine noise out of the smaller displacement engines than you would the larger V8s, which the V8 is pretty much on its last leg. We're not going to see V8s around much longer. Well, you're not going to have V8s because you get more efficiency and more power out of a smaller displacement motor. So, fuel mileage, I mean, Ford with their EcoBoost, I mean, they've eliminated the V8 except for in the Mustang because of that. And when you drive it, you'll see it. I mean, you know, and to be able to get 30 miles per gallon out of a car of this size, that's all because of the engine and what they've done with it. This one does run an 8-speed automatic, which, you know, some of the competition, I mean, they're playing with transmissions because that's where you're getting some added fuel mileage as well. So if you can live with it, you'll love it because it's the Genesis G80 Prestige. So if you're looking for a luxury car, but you don't want to spend an arm and a leg out of your wallet, then the Genesis G80, multiple lines you can look at. You can start for as low as $47,000, under $50,000, easiest way to put it. You might want to look at the Genesis. Well, that's Cruisin'. We'll be coming back to you with a whole lot more. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button, and just be prepared. You'll never know what we're coming up with next because we're constantly cruising.